Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Life with Shenita. I am Shenita Connolly, your host, and I am so excited about this evening's conversation. As we know, May is Mother's Month, and so I wanted to have moms who are entrepreneurs to share their journey with you all. And so I could not have been blessed with two more amazing women than the two women that will join me this evening. And we're going to call this show Mompreneurs. And so they're moms, but they're entrepreneurs, and they are doing it and doing it well. And so before I invite those moms in, as always, I like to kind of set the tone for the conversation. So I was looking up how many women entrepreneurs are moms. So I went to the Mompreneur website, and they have some statistics, mom-owned business statistics. So several years ago, an article in the now shuttered Working Mother magazine estimated that 1 in 3 women-owned businesses is owned by a mom. That number is pretty amazing as it translates to almost 4.7 million businesses. And this article was released May 4th, 2022. So, what is a mom entrepreneur? A mompreneur is a female business owner who is striving to balance her roles as mom and entrepreneur. I'm sure you all know someone that's a mompreneur, and you probably know multiple people. And so I was looking up just some other little facts that related to this topic, and I was looking at another article that's titled "The 7 Struggles of a Mom Entrepreneur." And so I'm just going to share those. I'm not going to go into detail, but mompreneur struggle number 1 is lack of funding. Sounds familiar, I'm sure. Struggle number 2 is the mommy guilt, because you're trying to balance this thing and you may spend an enormous amount of time building the business and you may feel some kind of way. The imposter syndrome. You want to stay humble, being an entrepreneur, and you may struggle with maybe not feeling like you're being yourself. Poor self-care. Sometimes we find that we don't make ourselves a priority. I am a witness to that. So we have poor self-care. Number 5, the lack of support, whether it's from family members or friends. Sometimes it's a struggle with support. Struggle number 6, not being taken seriously. Sometimes people don't take us serious when we say we're entrepreneurs or own a business. Number 7, staying true to yourself. Sometimes it's a struggle. And so I wanted to share those 7 mompreneur struggles with you all. So without further delay, I am excited to bring in our moms. So if you would like and share this broadcast, that would be amazing. Like and share the broadcast. And I am going to put the link to those 2 articles in the chat so that you guys can have that. Thank you, Juana. Yes, I got you, girl. I got you. So I am going to bring those mommies in. So first, we have Miss Dysha Weems. Good evening, Dysha.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you. So glad you said yes. And last but certainly not least for this evening is Coach Shalida Gray. Thank you
Good
also.
evening. Glad to be here.
Yes, yes. So I am excited because I have millennial mothers who are entrepreneurs, mompreneurs. So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for saying yes, and for gracing the audience with your gift, your talents, your business, and your mommy experiences. So let's jump right into introductions. So, Daisha, would you grace us with an introduction of who you are?
Of course, of course. Like Miss Shenita said, yes, I call her Miss. I also call her Mom sometimes. Y'all excuse me. That's the Southernness in me. So, saying Southern, I am from Atlanta, Georgia, raised in the military, and I actually finished out my schooling in Jonesboro, Georgia, which is how I know Ma Shenita.
Mhm.
Um, and I am a mother of a soon-to-be 2-year-old. She keeps me busy, keeps me on my toes, and it's just amazing. I have actually 3 businesses. I work during the day, full-time job, and I also have 3 businesses. I have a holistic business. I have a styling consulting business, fashion and wardrobe. Yes, that's me.
Yep.
And I have a, I guess you would call it health and wellness business where I do detox teas and liquid vitamins. So just to name a couple of things that I do. So yeah.
I love it. And you styled me for my photo shoot for this one.
I did. I did. Woo-hoo.
So it's time for a new photo shoot. So we're gonna have to connect and get that stuff together.
Yes, we will. We definitely will.
Yes, yes. Shalita, please.
Yes. Thank you again for allowing me to be here tonight, Shenita. Really, really am excited about our conversation. But to introduce myself, my name is Shalida Gray. Most people know me as Coach Lita. I have a company called owner of Phoenix Fitness International, where we do health and wellness, and we help you better yourself, become a better version of yourself from the inside out. We start with your mentality, mind shift, focus, and then we start digging into the eating process. So customized eating plans, as well as the accountability and also the results. Most typically people come through our program, they lose about 8 to 20 pounds in a month. And I'm excited because I've been working with over 10,000 clients for almost 8 years. I've been doing this full time for 5 years, and I was doing it part-time, kind of like our guest as well, part-time, working full-time at one point. I do have a daughter. My daughter is 13, I say going on 36. She is amazing girl. She is a singer, a love of music, and she's just at my heart. And I love that girl to infinity and beyond. So she keeps me busy and learning how to balance being a mom as well as being an entrepreneur at the same time. So I'm enjoying it. I am from Savannah, Georgia. I actually used to live in Atlanta, Georgia, and relocated to Savannah, Georgia. And I'm just excited and thrilled, like I said, once again to be here.
Yes, yes. And I went through your 30-day program and reached my under 200-pound mark, right?
Whoop, whoop, whoop. You did.
Yes. And so that, and I was just, I'm going to share this, my jar. I still pull my jar out with my affirmations.
Yes, I love
Yes.
it. Your
So,
gratitude jar.
yes, I wanted to share that with you, the gratitude. Yes. What I'm grateful for 30 days. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for, being willing to share your gifts. And so let's get into this conversation. So I would like for each of you to share with me what has been secrets to your success on the journey. I know, Coach Lita, you said you've been doing this for 5 years full time, but you've been doing it much longer than the 5 years, right?
Yes.
And let me just say this. I want you to share the one secret that I can think about right off the bat for you is the personal one that you reached. So hopefully that's one of the ones you'll share. But I would like for you guys to share what has been the secret to your success on this journey as a mom and an entrepreneur? Shalida?
Sure. Yeah. So thanks for that. Yeah, I will tell you a little secret. I started my journey a lot heavier. I was at 215, 220-ish, started my journey that way, and I knew I needed to, get healthy. And my why was my daughter. Once again, my why is my daughter, and I knew I did not want her to see her mom struggling with her weight. Very good with, my background is HR, so I was very good with that. I kind of moved up the ranks with human resources and senior business partner and all this kind of things. But when it came to my weight, I just did not have that. I didn't grasp it. So I just took it one day at a time, decided to do boot camp, decided to eat better. And it kind of just started shedding off. I started getting people just asking me, how are you losing this weight? You look great. And I'm like, oh, I just been eating well, and here's what I did, and was able to monetize it. So I think a lot of times, I guess the tip is sometimes you definitely got to be your cheerleader. You got to be that person living your program. So no needing trying to do a program or a product or sell the thing, and you are not actually that example. So I live by example because I believe in my program, because it worked for me, and that's why it's worked for so many clients. So that's just a tip that I would leave out there for your folks.
So the secret to your success has been you being the example to your audience.
Correct.
And you were in the struggle.
I was
so
in
you know over 200 pounds, because I was up to 231 when I started this program with Kaiser in September.
Wow.
And the highest that I got to was almost 250 before my husband passed.
Wow.
So, to be under 200 pounds is a big deal, because I hadn't been under 200 pounds in probably more than 30 years.
That's awesome.
Right.
That's awesome. I celebrate that.
Yes, that's the secret, being the example. Dysha, what has been a secret for you on this journey of mompreneur?
Well, it's funny because Shalita took the words out of my mouth. I'm just going to say it a little differently. You have to be a walking billboard for what you're doing and what you're putting out there for others to embark on. I am still on that journey. My weight loss and my health and wellness, I'm slowly getting back on it. But
yes,
people that have followed me for years have seen the different dynamics. They have seen the weight loss. And I always tell people, with that divine life, I'm not going to put something out there that I don't know personally works myself. If it doesn't work for me, I'm not going to put it out there for anyone else to try it. So that goes for the health and wellness. And then for my fashion and consulting, I've always been into fashion and in high school. So actually younger than that, if my mom would tell you, she said it happened with me when I was a baby. I was shopping and picking out stuff and matching stuff up. And I just like, if people feel good internally, you want to make sure they feel good externally. And the opposite, if people feel good externally, that will help them take an inward look to what's going on internally that they need to fix. So it's a two for one when it comes to what I do.
Yes. I love the fashion piece. It's time for another photo shoot, and I can't wait. So
Me neither.
Thank you for ladies for sharing, this little bit of the secrets to your success on this journey. How, as an entrepreneur and a mother, I've teetered with the entrepreneurship world because I truly believe I'm an entrepreneur, not an employee, but I happen to be an employee right now. How have you persevered through tough times? Because I have experienced some tough times on my journey. My children have never gone without. We've never had lights out. We've never missed a mortgage, any of that put out on the streets, but there have been some tough moments of some things that maybe we wanted, not necessarily needed, but we wanted. How did you persevere through the tough times when money wasn't maybe coming in like it should have been or you desired? How did you just keep pushing? Dysha?
It's all about your why. And if your why doesn't make you cry, then why are you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
So Shalida said it's her daughter. It's my daughter too. I don't mind, age-wise, the Lord waited to bless me to be a mother. I guess without saying I have plus children, but of my own coming out of me.
Right.
Until I
Right.
was later on in my life, I had already made up in my mind, I'm going to be a perfect, God mom, a perfect plus mom. And then the Lord said, well, it's your time. And so not just her, but just my journey. The health and wellness part is very special to me because my dad, he's my why too. So things that I saw my mom go through when my dad passed, and it being such a shocker, of my dad being in the military, perfect health, let people tell it, perfect health. He had just had his checkup, but internally things weren't right. And they didn't catch it. And so you have to, you just have to take that internal checklist and make sure you're getting checked out, making sure, especially if you have a history, you need to always be aware and do what you need to do. Get your stress test, getting all the tests done to make sure that things that you just can't see to the visual eye are okay. So tough times, I always think about my dad, what happened with my dad, what my mom went through, and now my daughter.
And she motivates you to keep pushing.
Yes,
Keep
she's
going.
a little ball of energy. She is a little ball of energy.
Yes. And Shalida, what has caused you to persevere through tough times?
I was just listening to Miss Weems there, and she was talking about all the perseverance she had to go through. And I was thinking through what I had to, with the divorce. I was married for 12 years. So being 12 years, having a child, think you're going to have this beautiful family and you're going to have this forever. And she's going to have her mom and dad. And then that changing drastically after 12 years, that's all I knew. Then having to kind of figure out how to do this single mom thing. It was just like, what? This is all I've known is just to be a wife. And so going into the single mother, co-parenting, how to co-parent with her father. It was a lot of times where I wanted to quit. I wanted to throw in the towel. I'm thankful for my family, having a strong family that will back me up and support me, because I know a lot of people don't have that. So I will say that was definitely one of my things. And also my strong faith in God, knowing that through all the tests and trials that he was going to bring me through it. And he has every single time. Yes, with entrepreneurship, there are ups and downs, there are valleys, there are days that you're like, why did I do this? But I'm thankful because with his help, with God's help, I'm able to make it. We budget it. We just budget. Hey, we may not be able to go and to Wally World and get all these things. We may not be able to go to the ritzy hotel. Maybe we can need to go somewhere else. Just budgeting it and making sure that, hey, at the end of the day, we're spending time with each other. It's about the experience, and we're gonna go through it. We're gonna get through it, because you're going to go through it as a mompreneur. There are going to be some really low days, but just knowing that God is on your side, and then you're gonna get through it. And then you're going to look back and you'll be able to share your testimony with others, just like I'm doing tonight.
Yes. And that's the key, is sharing is caring. It truly is, because what you say and share will touch someone's life and impact them in ways that we may never know about.
Yes.
But one of the things that you said, Shalida, Coach Lita, is budget. And you know, it's so important for us as women, single moms, mothers, to have a budget and to work from that budget so that we can teach our children how to do that too, right?
That's right. That's right.
You know, and so pushing through the tough times, yeah, maybe the budget allowed us to have a little extra money in the cushion, you know, the emergency
Right.
fund, because
Right.
we budgeted so well. We got our emergency fund over here to kind of help us when we need it. Those kinds of things. I wish I had made better moves throughout life so that when you do experience those tough times, which they are coming, because we, you know, prayer by itself is not going to always do it, because we have to work it too, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So persevering through the tough times. I love what you both shared. And so with that being said, what about your next level? What do you want to achieve next in life? I know that you're, you know, you're successful in your business, and Dysha, you are a working mompreneur. Um, is there anything that you want to achieve next? Dysha?
There is actually, it's a lot I want to achieve. I can't pinpoint it. I'm not at that point to pinpoint it, but I do know, of course, retiring.
Yes.
I'm too far in to say no right now. So,
Mhm.
for my regular job. So,
That's right. You need
retiring.
my financial advisor would tell you,
Yes.
yep, he would tell you, keep that job so that you can have that stream of income coming in when you retire, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So, of course, retirement, but just getting, when I had my daughter, well, when I found out I was pregnant, I slacked off on my styling and my wardrobe business. And so, of course, it's my goal to get back into that. Um, Start marketing more, start, even if I have to make my baby part of the styling business with
Right.
me, she can
Right.
come on. Uh,
That's
so
right.
just using, you know, just using what I can to get myself back out there on all aspects with all of my businesses. Um, right now, I do the detox and that divine life very hard, really well, because most of the time I'm the walking billboard. It doesn't take me having to travel or meet with clients that much, to be able to do that, especially with my time and dealing with her right now being so young. So, oh no, I'm sorry, y'all. Um, so that's what I would
So,
say. Goals
so,
right
so
now is
mhm.
stylist and consulting, getting back out there and building back up my clientele for stylist and consulting.
Awesome. Coach Lita?
Very great question. Actually, I'm in the in transition right now, and we'll be launching a new thing in June, because I've been doing health and wellness for, like I said, 8 years, and I absolutely love what I do. More transitioning that into digital products so that everyone could just get their items and use it, and then it allows me to go more into my passion, and my passion is helping women just like us moms start their business, how to get the legitimize their business, their LLC license, their EIN, all of that, the accounting piece of it, how to actually market your company, social media, all of those fun things that I think a lot of new moms or want to be business owners are having some problems in trying to get into it. So I think that because I've had that experience and have been working in that entity for such a long period of time, it's definitely something that I'm really, really, really passionate about. I just want to see more women jump into business. I know you gave us like the statistics, but it's like a lot of us are doing it, but just don't know what the steps are, or how do you do this, and how do I market this, and how do I get this out here, or how do I get my clientele. And so because I've been through a whole lot of bumps and bruises, not because I've been perfect, but
Right.
because of all those bumps and bruises and experience, I feel like I'm able to do that. So yeah, I look forward to seeing a launch in my consulting company. And
Awesome.
SRG Consulting, and it will definitely entail more of business entrepreneurship.
And you know, it's amazing because both of you all love fashion, right?
Yes.
And it just clicked like today. Both of you enjoy fashion, so that's amazing. So I could see a clothing line coming
Yes.
out and all of that, you know?
Yes.
All right,
So,
now speak it.
Yeah. Yes,
I
I can
received
see
it.
it. Yeah, I can see that. And that's just amazing. So what about some challenges you faced regarding catalyzing innovation? So, you know, we're trying to be innovative, but what has been some challenges as you've tried to be innovative with your businesses? Has there been any? Shalida?
Yeah, there actually has been. You're always trying to stay in the forefront, and you're always trying to be, like you said, innovative with your business. For me, during the pandemic, I had to pivot my business a lot. It was so, yeah, health and wellness really wasn't on the top of everybody's list, right? It was like more veg out, let me eat my chips, donuts, and screw looking good, because I'm not going out of this house anyway. So nobody gonna be seeing me. So
all those COVID pounds, right?
Oh yeah, those COVID pounds was off the chain. I mean, even me included. I was like, yeah, I might chill a little bit. So trying to say, okay, how am I going to pivot my business in order to sustain myself and my daughter? And I realized that, a lot of people were being let go. A lot of people, the companies were, downsizing because they didn't have, the same kind of customer, coming through. And so I transitioned a little bit more into teaching people how to become online lifestyle health coaches just during that. But you just understanding that there is a need, and when you see that there is a need for something, find a solution. And I think that's the best way to be innovative and staying abreast of things. Just always starting with the need. Your people, your customers, your demographic are going to tell you what they need. You just need to be listening and find out how you can fix that problem.
Yes, I love it. Pivot. That was so many people's word during this pandemic.
Yes.
We had to learn how to pivot, change, move, do something different. Yeah, we might have started out over here, but that's not going to work in this climate. So we're going to have to shift. So awesome. Dysha?
Creating digital content. That's been my issue. Because I know a lot of people do, like they manage and they set the timers and the days and they schedule out their posts and all of that. But, woo,
It's some work.
It's hard for me to do
Yeah.
that right now.
Yeah.
It's work. So
Yeah.
with me, digital content and creating, that's a major problem with me.
And I know they have people who you can hire to do those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's what Shalida, I believe, is going to be starting soon.
Yes, so it'll be a great networking opportunity for you guys to figure that out together, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It's good. Even like you were talking about, that's the way of the world, the TikToks and the the Facebook, Instagram reels and all of that, and they're paying money to do that, which I'm thankful they just invited me to do it.
Yes.
So yes,
Congratulations. I saw that.
I know. I was like, whoop, whoop.
Yes, indeed.
it's about consistency, like you said, and it's hard. It's hard, like you said, it's hard to be consistent every day, showing up, post. I take my hat off to Shenita because I follow her, and that lady, she is so awesome. She's just posting and putting things and content out there, and that's the same thing as just doing it consistently. So like you said, this is an opportunity where you can make money from just that. That can be another source of income for you. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have to really, like you say, hone in on those opportunities when they exist. Being authentic, being yourself. It's your season. That's why they chose you.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure they're looking for certain content, right?
Yeah, certain content like your reels, the Instagram reels, but also Facebook has their reels. So putting it out there, finding the trending material, it's a lot of work. But also I think followers, seeing how many followers are following you too, and that kind of stuff.
That's the key. It's very strategic, and we have to understand how strategic these platforms are. You know what I mean? And they can work for you, as you said. That additional streams of income.
Yes, ma'am.
That you can keep doing what you're doing in residual.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we want.
Residual income. Yes. So are there any tips that you would share with someone who's watching? Because there may be people who are out there who are thinking about starting their businesses. They're just right there. Any tips that you would share with them once they start their business, how to grow their business? Any specific tips? Shalida, I know you have some. I know you do. So can you share some tips to growing a company?
I would say really get focused on your demographic. Who are you trying to reach? That is, I think, number one for a lot of. So you're getting into a business, and but every business owner that I know that I've worked with, they said they want to help everybody. That cannot happen. Right. You cannot help everybody. So you really need to get laser focused on who's your demographic, and that's even just what's the age. What's the age look like? If it's maybe it may be black, white, it may be a different ethnicity or culture or whatever you're looking at. Let's look at are they entrepreneurs? Are they moms? Are they single mothers? Are they divorcees? You really need to get truly focused on who you're trying to reach. I think that's number one, because if not, you're just throwing darts all over the place, and you're not going to capture the right person, and the right person is not going to purchase your product because you're trying to sell smooth butter to a man who has hairy legs, So I think you have to be really laser focused on that. That's a huge tip. And the other thing is consistency, just showing up every day, no matter how you feel, no matter days when you just, like I said, want to quit. Just show up for yourself. I always just tell myself, if I could show up for work at this company for 10 years, or 5 years, I can give myself that. I did not quit. I was 6-7 years. I was working with this company, giving them my time, like nobody's business, showing up day in, day out for this paycheck. I can do the same for myself.
Yes, you can.
So that's what I tell anybody else. Just show up for yourself, just like you would show up for any company that you're working for.
Yes. Yes. Show up.
Show up.
And that showing up will help you grow that business.
That's right. And lastly, Shenita, you touched on this, and I think this is good too. Stay with your company. Okay. Don't just try to jump into full-time entrepreneurship. Stay there as long as you can. Do both. It's going to be a little bit of work, but do both as long as you can, because that income from them and that salary will help your business. You can invest in your business because you have this income coming in. You can save that money that you're getting. And I just tell people, I know it looks great to say I am a full-time entrepreneur, but girl, there's a whole lot that comes in with that. Okay. Benefits, everything. So just stay there until you really good. Okay, you
Yes.
good.
Yes.
And then, or even just stay there and do the business on the side. I
Yes.
don't care, but I don't think you should just jump full fledged until you're truly ready.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And talk with a financial advisor.
Yes.
If I could give anybody advice, I would say go sit down with a financial advisor and let them look at your picture. Let them look at your life and give you
Yes.
some advice. That's the one thing that I regret not doing sooner. Yes. Dysha, some tips?
Be authentically you.
Yes.
Because when you're being authentically and uniquely you, you will capture the demographics that are meant for you.
Right.
And consistency, even when you're tired, like Shalida said, I get up. I'm at work at 6:30. Sometimes I'm at work at 7:45. But best believe, before I go into that door, I have a post on my pages and my stories,
Yep.
because that's important. You always want to show up for you and what you have. Like Shalita said, if you could show up for your company, that job, you must show up for yourself, even if it's afterwards. Research the best times to do your posts. That's important too,
Yes.
because there is research that shows the important times for that people look at Facebook posts, Instagram posts, well now TikTok, and the other social media platforms that are out there. So yes, just be you, and the right demographics and the right individuals will be drawn to you.
Yeah, definitely. Showing up every day. Consistency is key. Knowing your demographics,
Mhm.
and honing in on that. Speaking with a financial advisor,
Yes.
to look at not only your personal finances but your business finances too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they may not be one and the same. So yeah, there's so many things to grow in that business.
Oh, and why you said that, Shanita,
Mhm,
about the finance,
mhm.
once you have your business set up, make sure you have separate accounts for your business. You don't want to be pitching from your everyday life funds to support your business funds. So make
Separate.
sure you get that taken care of too.
Mhm.
Once you become solidified with all the documentation you need, so you can go and open up that business account.
Because it gives you a true picture of how you're doing, right?
Yes,
When you separate them.
Yeah.
Mhm,
especially for tax time. You don't want no problems.
mhm. Yes, 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 indeed. Can you say that again? So, if you two ladies could turn back the clock or turn back the time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you tell her?
Ooh.
What would you tell her, Shalita? What would you tell her?
I would tell her to be patient. I would tell her patience is key. I would tell her you can't do it all at once. It will come with time. And that everything worketh for your good.
I love it.
I don't regret anything that has happened in my life. All the things that have occurred in my life had to happen in order for me to be here right now at this very moment.
Ooh.
I love your mindset.
Ooh.
That's why you're coach leader.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Be patient. Daisha?
Your story is already written. Just continue to move forward in the steps that the path has for you. Don't be hard on yourself. Give yourself some grace.
Yes.
Everything will work out how it's supposed to.
You know, I don't know if you ladies remember the movie The Grace Card. And if you don't
No.
know it, I want you guys, when we're done this evening, I want you guys to Google the movie The Grace Card. And
Okay.
in that movie, it was about giving grace. You know, many times we want to receive it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to be willing to give grace. Grace is so important on this journey, and even grace to yourself
I love it.
and grace to others. The grace card. I want you
Mm.
guys to take a look at that. You're going to absolutely love that movie.
Check it out.
Yes.
I will.
So, what has been the best part of being a mother on this journey? I know both of you guys just adore your daughters. What has been the best part, apart from the entrepreneur part, but just the mother part? What has been the best part? Daisha?
Time freedom.
Mm. Yes.
So if I want to take off, I can, because I know I will still have money to compensate me for taking that time off due to my other businesses, and being able to spend time with her, not missing out on any of the main times in her life, and being able to use the business funds if I would like to, or if I want to create memories with her.
I love it.
Love that.
Shalida?
That's definitely the flexibility of the time that you mentioned. I think also as she's getting older, when she was younger, it was really important too for me to be there and not miss any of her, academics and award ceremonies and all the mommy things. Yep. But now that she's getting into a young adult, it's allowed me to be there, to not just to, I used to come home from work and my brain would be just on tilt. I mean, it was just so much information. And when I got home, I didn't have the capacity to have conversations with her. And so now it's like we sit, we talk. I mean, she calls me sometimes at school. She has a free minute. She's like, Mom, guess what's happening? I'm like, girl, why are you calling me? Well, I knew you would be available. Really? What? Well, okay, I'm at home. But we have such a great relationship, and it's because I had the time to spend with her, and I'm in the present, in the now, the experiences that we have, and she knows that I'm there for her, and so I wouldn't trade that for anything.
I love it. I love how you all share your babies. I think I see Shalida, you and your daughter more on social media, but Daisha, I see your baby girl sometimes, and I just love how you all just share those special moments and then just impromptu moments.
Yes.
Because I think that's important, because you're creating memories.
You do that too, Shenita.
Yes.
I see your grandbabies and your daughter. I'm like, I love it. I love that about you. I just think
that it is so important to create those memories, right?
Yes.
And people don't, I'm not going to say all people, some people don't really treasure that. But I do. I understand how, Daisha, remember you were saying earlier how your dad, you thought he was in perfect health, and he went to play racquetball and had a heart attack, right? And my husband had a heart attack when he laid down to say goodnight to me. And so I sometimes think, what if that was an awful day that we had? And so memories, I have so many wonderful memories with that man. And I'm grateful that I can look at them and smile. You know what I'm saying?
I love
it. If I never marry again or what have you, I can honestly say that I've experienced that good relationship life, right?
That's awesome.
So I can look at those memories. So it's important for us to create them and store them and share them and look back on them, even with the grands, because I feel like my mom again with Madison. And I need help all the time. So Raven and Brittany are always helping their mom. Old school, new school. Yeah. So, so I have another question for you ladies. And so has there been a challenging part of we might have talked about this a little bit earlier, of balancing the journey between motherhood and running a business. Have there been, I know, Shalida, you talked about the flexibility, but Dysha, I know you're juggling full-time work, entrepreneurship, and motherhood, right?
Yes.
And running a home. So if there have been challenges, I know, Shalida, you talked about the co-parenting, dad being actively involved, which is important on the motherhood or the child rearing side. Maybe he can pick up the child when you're having a business meeting or or something. But if there have been challenges, share them and what you have done to overcome some of the challenges of this journey of motherhood and running a business.
Well, Shenita, I didn't start full time. I was definitely like Miss Weems. I really, I was working corporate America when I started my business. So I was working 50 plus hours a week and then coming home and working another like 40 hours with, I was working 2 full-time jobs doing both. So I was married at the time and also my daughter. And so I had to find a way to balance it all. One thing I did do was tell them at the time and said, hey, I got a lot to juggle. Mommy is working her business. Baby girl, I'm going to have to, you're going to have to go to bed at 9 o'clock. Okay. And that means mommy's working from 9:30 on to, I would work from 9:30 to about almost 11:30 at night. And so I would put her in the bed and she knew that. So it was kind of involving them in the process, letting them know, hey, this is what's going on. And at that time I'll tell him, hey, I need you to see if you can do some food or whatever. And I know everybody doesn't have that. But as I've gotten older, well, not older, but also as I transitioned from being a single mother, I still tell my daughter, hey, I have a Zoom class tonight. I can't get on with you. We can't go outside. We can't do that. I have client calls. Baby, you're going to have to preoccupy yourself. So it's just letting them know, hey, this is where I'm at, baby. I need your help to help me help you. And I need you to understand what the time frames that I'm going to need your help with.
And that's good because you're building a legacy for her, right? And even her children. When we think about building these businesses and the money that we can generate that could last for several generations, and it teaches them the skills that they need if they choose to go in this direction, right?
Correct.
They're learning while watching, being involved, which is really good. And I love the fact that you said, let me explain to you. Let me tell you what's happening.
Right.
Because, it could be, the other way around. You know what I mean? Where you didn't have the husband to help you during the time that he was there. And you could have been doing it all by yourself, which could have been really difficult. You know what I mean? So that's good. Dysha, what about you? Any challenges that on this journey of motherhood and entrepreneurship, and how did you handle it? How did you juggle that? Because that's real.
Communicating effectively, basically piggybacking off of what Shalida said. Communication is key. So when I have my calls or when I need to get on and do lives, I explain to the household, look, I have this call. I let them know a day in advance or even sometimes 2 days in advance. Then I keep reminding them up until the day it's going to happen. And sometimes the hour before it happens. So it won't be, oh, I forgot.
Right.
No,
right.
This is my time. It might be days even I might work from home, but still that was work. This is mommy's business time. So I have to prepare, and get ready. So communication is huge.
And was that always easy for you, or did you have to work to make sure that you were effectively communicating with those in your circle? Because sometimes communication could be rough and then not received. Did you have to work at that? Because I know I had to work at that.
Mm-hmm.
Being, communicating effectively where it's received. They don't just hear me and then tune me out, but they hear it and receive it. Did you have to work at that, or was that natural for you?
Actually, communication is natural for me. Communicating effectively. Let me say that.
That's good.
So, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And making sure that they understand what I say, what I'm telling them. Okay, did you understand that I do have a meeting tomorrow at this time and this time? So from this time to this time, I don't need to hear no mommy. I don't need to hear no babe. Can you do this? I don't need to nothing. Let me have my time. Y'all go wherever y'all need to go to give me my quiet time, so I won't be interrupted.
Right. Break it on down.
That's right.
So before we close, and I want to share, just as mom entrepreneurs, because you guys know that I am real adamant about making sure people's affairs are in order, right? And so as I think about moms, single moms, I want you guys to make sure you do an assessment, a personal assessment on your own journey, your own life, your own finances. Because I was, on a Zoom call a couple of days ago with the Zeta sorority, and they were talking about, the attorney that I partner with was telling them how important it is to have things in writing if you have children. And if something happens to you, you want to be involved in deciding what happens with your child, right? And provision that's needed for your child. So I want to challenge you ladies, and you may have already done this, but I want to make sure that I challenge you to take a look at that part of your life closely, whether it's through an attorney or not. But take a look at that to make sure that there's a plan in place for that part of your life. So that's my gift to you all this evening. But before we close, I want you guys to share parting words, and then we're going to come back and we're going to share how they can reach you and what you may have going on. Some, if you have exciting programs, you want to tell them how to reach you, all of that good stuff. So let's start with parting words. Anything that you want to share with someone that's out there watching, whether it's female, a mom, not a mom, what have you. Shalida?
That's great. I was just thinking of some really great things. What I will say, and I'm always about being authentic, is don't look at people's lives on Facebook or any businesses that you see on Facebook and compare yourself with them. A lot of that is highlight, and I know you probably heard of it a lot of times. Oh, that's just, or you may see them, they look like they're just exploding, and you know what, they may. But what God has for you, God has for you. And don't compare yourself with somebody else's business. They may have, that may be their time. That may be their time to shine. They may not actually be at this high point in their life. They're just doing it for the gram or for Facebook. So you don't know specifically what they're dealing with and what they're going through. So all I would say is know the path that God has for you. Stay on that path. Take one step at a time, and you will get to that success. Success looks different for everybody. So don't try to be like everybody else. Don't compare yourself in anything that you do. You are you, and God created you to be spectacular in who you are.
Yes. Oh, that's good. That's good. I tell people, do you, boo.
Do you, boo. Yes.
And celebrate others in the process.
Yes.
Do not be envious. Do not be envious. If I could teach that, do not envy someone's journey, because you don't know the oil that's in their alabaster bottle. You do not know what it took for them to get to that place. Like, there is authentic highlights where they really got it going on, or it's just highlights for social media.
Correct.
And so don't hate. That's why I always talk about love. I always love all posts, because I just want to make sure I send it out there.
You do.
Because it's not enough.
You do a
In
good
my
job at that.
opinion.
Yes.
Thank you. So, Dashe, any parting words?
Like I mentioned earlier, give yourself grace. If you're not at that point or that level where you feel you may need to be, it's okay. Just take a step back, take a deep breath, put one foot back in front of the other, and try again. It's
Mhm.
okay. No one is perfect.
Right.
Don't beat yourself up by trying to be somebody else, because we all know people put on for the gram, the TikTok, whatever. Just like I used to say back in the day, you could see a nice car driving by and you be like, oh, I wish. No, you don't want to. You don't wish, because
Or
you
you
don't know
know.
what it took for that
You
person
don't
that's
know.
driving that BMW or whatever fancy car,
That's right.
now to get there. They can
That's
have a
right.
whole bunch of bills. They can have a large payment. You don't know.
Woo. And do you
So
want that?
just be thankful and grateful and give yourself grace and
Amen.
mercy.
Yes, indeed. I love it. I love it. Grace, so important. And you guys are going to check out the grace card.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am, we are.
Yes. So, Daisha, tell the people how to reach you. Tell
Okay.
them what you have. Maybe you have something coming up. Tell them how to reach you.
All right. I can be reached at on Facebook and Instagram, That Divine Life, Stylistic Consulting. As you see in the banner, it's just like it sounds. That's how it's spelled. I can be also reached on my personal page. I share a lot of things that intertwine things on my personal page. So Dysha Weems. If you would like to call me, 770-615-8029. Um, on the health and wellness tip, my team and we're doing a 15-day health and wellness challenge. And who knows, Coach Shalida, I might have you on as a special guest to help us with some
Okay.
some fitness tips and some meal
She'll
planning.
do it.
Okay.
So yes, I
That's
do
good.
have that coming up. So thank you for having me, and I look forward to helping whomever comes my way.
Yes. I
Love
love
it.
it.
Love it.
Yes, yes, yes. And Coach Lita?
Yeah, so you can definitely find me on Facebook at Shalida.Gray on Facebook. That's pretty much been my platform. You can also find me on Instagram at Coach Fit Lita. And what you can see is just a transition. Like I said, I'm going into more digital products so that I can really focus in on helping women start their business. So you can see a little bit more of that. But if you want to follow me on Shalida Gray. This is actually my last May group, and probably be my last group of me actually coaching it physically. So, like I said, just look out for a digital product that will be coming out on Phoenix Fitness International, and more meal plans and different things of that sort.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes,
All I can say
yes.
is, the transformation is real if you follow the plan, right, Coach?
Yes, if you follow yes.
Follow the plan.
That's right. That's right. And I'm so blessed to have a network of beautiful women just like you, Shenita, because just refer people and tell people about it. And one of your friends and lost
Yeah.
16 pounds the first 5 days, and
Yep.
she's doing well. Then I had a few others. I'm just thankful to have such a wonderful network of women that are not hating and are always pushing someone forward and celebrating. So
Yes. And we talked about those 7 struggles, right?
yes, we did.
And so, we want to change that dynamics. And we're trailblazers, and we lose nothing by celebrating and helping someone else. And I truly believe that with my whole heart. And so I will always believe sharing is caring. And so I am so delighted to have you ladies this evening to talk about your mompreneurs. And of course, I pray continued blessings on your businesses and your children's lives. If there's anything that I can do to assist, you guys know that I will.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and to the audience, thank you all for watching. Please like and share this broadcast, even if you watch it in the replay. And please join us next Thursday as we celebrate graduates. We'll celebrate graduates on all levels next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So remember that I love you, but God loves you most, and He loves you best. Peace, love, joy today and always. Take care. Thank you for watching.